Sup YouTube? So I know I missed a day. Kind of the whole point of the channel was to be a daily thing, but some shit happened. So I started the channel initially because I really wanted some sort of change in my life. I didn't really like the trajectory it was going. I always, it's not even that objectively bad, but it's just a life that I know in the future I would regret. That's the big thing. I'm in school, I have good grades, I have a couple close friends, like not a lot of friends. I've never really been someone who's had a lot of friends. I've always kind of been more to myself and a few people I really like. But yeah, I have good grades, I have a couple close friends, I'm, going to college for a pretty, for engineering, which is a pretty reliable major. There's a lot of money in it, a lot of opportunity, especially where I live. So objectively from the outside, you might think like life's not that bad, but it's just not fulfilling. I, despite all those like good parts of my life, there's a lot of bad, and one of those big things, for me at least, has been just like computer addiction. More specifically, I mean, first of all, I used to be a lot more into gaming. Now, not so much, but sometimes like if a new game comes out, it'll just take over my life. But the bigger thing is just YouTube. A lot of the time, I'm just mindlessly on YouTube for hours a day, and I'm not watching like brain rot. Like I do like to watch some educational stuff, but like I don't need any of it. I'm kind of just on YouTube because it's like all I know how to do. I'm just filling in the gaps of the day with useless, wasted time, basically. And I've kind of known this about myself for a few years, that it's probably not a good thing. It's probably not healthy, but I have friends, and I have good grades, and I have a cool future career ahead of me, right? So what's the worst thing? But like that feeling of like addiction kind of caught up to me, and I actually started the channel because I wanted to get away from that and kind of outline my my goals and how I'm feeling about things, and to like actually progress and like feel good about my life and live a life that I don't want to regret. And so yesterday I missed a day, but it's because something great happened today. So Monday, which was 2 days ago, today is Wednesday, it's about like 10 p.m. It's pretty late, so this is about 2 days ago from today. I was just feeling really lonely, and I have a couple friends that go here, but they're busy, and I don't really like, for some reason I think I'm going to be a burden for like asking them for time to hang out or something. I know they're busy, but like it's not like they would mind me like asking to spend some time with them, right? But for some reason I've always kind of had this feeling about myself that if I were to do that, I'm just bothering them, which is really bad. It's just not true at all, especially if if they're your actual friends. But I'm slowly starting to get over that irrational train of thought. And so Monday, I was just feeling really lonely Monday night, and I decided to text someone who I haven't seen in a really long time, who I recently learned goes to my school. I've known this person since I was 4, actually. I mean, it's like preschool. I think that's like 4 or 5 years old, in America at least. And I've known this person for a very long period of my time. For a very long period of my life, and I've been friends with them for a very long period. We've had many classes together, like many consecutive years, like with each other in the class. Like this is a person that I've known and like talked to for a like large portion of my life. I'm pretty young. Like it's very significant amount of my life that I've known, been around this person, talked to them. And so Monday, I was just kind of feeling down, and I was just looking for anyone. I was on social media, I was on Instagram, and I was just kind of looking for anyone that I knew from previous schools that go to my campus, that go to my university. And lo and behold, this person that I'm talking about, that I've known for an extremely long amount of time, they go to my campus. And so I reached out to them, and they were excited to hear from me, and that was really great, because I almost didn't reach out. One thing that is crazy to me now that I'm thinking back about it is I almost didn't hit send on that message out of anxiety or the fear that they were going to say no, that they were going to be bothered, that they don't remember me, just completely stupid stuff, right? Completely irrational, like just defense mechanisms to avoid any sort of boldness or courageousness or whatever you want to call it. Like I was just looking for every excuse to not go through with it, and but I did, and we talked a bit over text, but to be truthful, I knew this person in person for most of my life. I knew them like physically, and like being around them. So like it's nice to catch up over text, but I wanted to see them in person because they go to the same campus as me, and they were glad to. And this morning, I met with them, and we talked, and it was great. And actually, we talked for 3 hours, and it was a really great time. Sorry if I sound like I'm kind of choking up. It's like pretty emotional for me. But yeah, we talked for like 3 hours, and it was great. And I was kind of like scared going into it because I don't know what this person thought of me, and I don't know if they're the same person that I knew, and I don't know, like maybe I've changed because it's been multiple years since I've like properly talked to them. And it was great. We laughed, we joked, we talked about more serious things even. Like we just had a really great time, and we caught up, and it was like I didn't think I was like 3 hours is a lot. I was thinking like an hour, maybe like at the most 2. No, 3 hours, and it felt like time flew. That 3 hours went by incredibly fast, and this is like feels like one of the best days I've had in a long time. It's not like my days have been bad necessarily. In fact, like I mentioned earlier, like objectively I have a decent amount of stuff going on, but that doesn't change the fact that I was deeply sort of disappointed in myself, that like this is not something I'm gonna look fondly at years into the future. I'm certain that I will wish I would have done more. And going back to like me reaching out to this person prior to like meeting up with them in person again, like I said, I was very close to not sending the message, to not reaching out to them. And if I hadn't, I feel like my life would be drastically different, because this type of person that for so long, it sort of becomes like a part of you, and it's like deeply important to you. Like it would feel terrible if I just slowly stopped talking to this person, and we part ways and then we never meet again. And actually that's kind of what I thought would happen after high school. I was like, we go to the same high school, but we don't really like have any classes or anything or talk to each other. So, after this, like there's a good chance we never see each other again, because after high school, like people go to college and people start their careers, and there's no telling where you might next see this person, if ever. Um, but I was extremely fortunate that they are at the same university as me, and that I had the opportunity to reach out to them and talk to them and have a good conversation. Um, yeah, and if there's one thing to take away from this, it's to live your life so that you won't have any regret in the future, because I guarantee 5 years from now, when me and them and this person I'm talking about, in 5 years, when we're both graduated from college, then it's almost certain that I'm never seeing them again. It's highly unlikely, and it's gonna have been so long we might not even like recognize each other. Had I not done this thing, I wouldn't have had the great 3 hours I had today, and I am so glad that I went through with the decision that I did to just click the send button. What's the worst that could happen? That's what I was thinking to myself as I was, thinking of talking to them. What's the worst that could happen? And it turned out to be a great decision, and I'm extremely glad, because had I not, I would look back years from now thinking, what was I doing? Why didn't I just do it? Like, I'm needlessly making my life like just worse. I'm just self-sabotaging because I'm just scared of like a little interaction that I might be unsure the outcome of. So yeah, I mean, that was my day today. Like I said, don't live your life with regret, or rather, how do you phrase this? Live your life so that you won't have regret. If you're thinking of talking to that person, just do it. I mean, if you're thinking you're gonna bother them by talking to them, 99% of the time that's not the case. Maybe there'll be a couple people that are just not open to that, or just not sociable, whatever. But if you see someone and you want to strike up a conversation, or you want to talk to that friend you haven't talked to in a really long time, or you want to ask that girl out because you think she's pretty or something, just do it. Just do it. Seriously. Like, what's the worst that could happen? You get rejected, and then you try with another person. Oh, this person doesn't want to talk to me, so you talk to another person. That's it. You don't need to. Just don't get in your own head about it. That's something I've struggled with a lot. I'm constantly in my own head. I'm constantly thinking of the worst. I'm just extremely pessimistic. Just stop thinking about it. Just, do I want to do this? Yes or no? That's it. Will future me want me to have done this? Yes or no? Will future me be glad I tried to talk to this person, regardless of the outcome? Yes or no? And I guarantee every time, you will have been glad you have done the things you did. I find it rare that you will regret any of these sorts of actions that one might like needlessly ponder over. So just do it. Don't give yourself the chance to overthink it. Just do it. Yeah, that's all. Sorry for the yap sesh today. Today was a little bit different, but this is the start of something new for me. Something great. What is this, yesterday would have been day 3. This is day 4. Only been 4 days, and I've already done something I'm extremely glad to have done. So, yeah. Please learn from my experiences and live your life to the fullest, please.